So today is a day where we go ahead and we update our price prediction on Aerodrome Finance and kind of give a guide on which I would suggest to plan to exit. Now currently Aerodrome's sitting around $1.25 to $1.28, somewhere around that range. And I think this is a range that is good for accumulation. We could dip down more into that $1.18 range in the short term, especially with the current outlook within the market. But honestly, we could see a retest within the market as well with this dump. Now, specifically with this dump today seems to be due to conflicts escalating Russia, Ukraine. That's definitely a part of it, but also we still have Bitcoin confidence not actually too high. It's still pretty, I wouldn't say it's too high. It's around 65 or 95,000, 94,000 at the time of this recording, which is still very good for the overall crypto market. I would say, I mean, we're almost at 100,000. Once we cross that number, either good or bad things will happen, right? But Bitcoin's still doing very well. It's still at the 90,000 range. So there's really nothing to worry about if you look at the crypto market as a whole with Bitcoin. But alts are taking a hit today. You did have some alts bleed, which is perfectly fine. That means that you can go ahead and load up on alts that you are holding to long. So for me, that is Aerodrome Finance. That's one of those coins that I'm looking to long. So hence why today is a perfect day if I want to maybe add a little to that position. So take that into consideration. Memes are going crazy now. We have a lot of memes on pop culture references like the Rizzler, stuff like that. So that's a side tangent of the current status of the market. So don't expect anything too crazy with Aerodrome short term. I think we could see an upswing very soon, but it really depends on what the overall market ends up doing. So that's the first thing. Just want to cover that out of the way. But we haven't talked about Aerodrome specifically in a while, so I thought it'd be cool just to do another update on this crypto coin or this cryptocurrency. And with that in mind, I'm not going to be giving a short-term price prediction. This is more where I expect this coin to peak at this cycle and why I believe that to be. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my statement, we're going to kind of do this in a thesis way, right? My statement is that I predict Aerodrome to potentially reach a top of $20 to $30 at the absolute peak of the cycle. Now, realistically, maybe that could be $25 to $35, maybe that's $15 to $20, but that is genuinely where I see this coin potentially hitting. And the reason I base this off of is I compare Aerodrome primarily to Uniswap. And if you look at Uniswap's previous all-time high, I believe Aerodrome, if it was to hit Uniswap's previous all-time high, would have been around $33, maybe $34, if I believe. So it's definitely up there, and that's definitely a potential or a possibility. And the reason I say that's a possibility is because if you look at Uniswap actually underperforms in comparison to Aerodrome. Aerodrome has a higher TVL than Uniswap. It does more in revenue than Ethereum, and we've covered this previously a couple of months ago. So with those facts in mind, it's doing better in some aspects than Uniswap is. So maybe you could argue that it could do equal to the size that Uniswap does. However, you have to keep in consideration Uniswap deals with Ethereum and other networks as well, whereas Base or Aerodrome is just on that Base network. So that is a drawback that Aerodrome has. But I still think in potentially what could be the biggest bull run we've had so far, that's a biased answer. That's an answer that some might agree with, some might not, but that's what I personally believe. And by the way, none of this is financial advice. I should have clarified that in the beginning. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research to actually see if crypto is a viable investment for you and consult with a financial advisor. I just have to clarify that and put that in the video. This is my personal opinion. So again, branching off from that side tangent, I really think this is a coin that could have immense potential in this I think this is going to be a long bull run. I think we could potentially have a top in spring. That's where I'm going to be first looking to sell. But then I think there's a possibility we have a second cycle top in the December season. in the November-December season of 2025. So I think this cycle could last longer than people might expect. You can almost compare the cycle to, I'd almost like to compare this cycle to the 2021 or 2020-2021 cycle, where we could match certain numbers or certain trends within that. We certainly already are. So with that in mind, I think it wouldn't be dumb to say that that is a possibility where we do have 2 cycle tops. But I think a realistic point for either of those cycle tops for Aerodrome, like I said, is going to be that $25 or $20 to $30 margin. And I'm not even going to say if you want to be safe. I'd say if you want to be conservative, a great price prediction for you could be that $8 to $10 range. I think coins are severely undervalued right now, and Aerodrome is one of those coins that's severely undervalued, maybe one of the biggest coins on base. So with that in mind, an $8 to $10 Aero is definitely a conservative, safe price point that I would 100% give to you guys, because that's what, a third of that Uniswap previous all-time high, and that was in 2021. So definitely more potential here with Aerodrome Finance than most people would seem to agree with. A lot of people undervalue it, and I still think that this is going to do very, very well. My personal outlook into when I plan to sell, this changes, as things go on, but I plan to sell in spring around $15 to $20. So that's kind of where I'm personally looking to exit. But again, that adjusts as time goes on. So I'm definitely going to have to keep my eyes on things and really pay attention to what the markets end up doing. But that was kind of just everything about Aerodrome Finance. Again, my suggestion now, if I want to add some, I would do it now, and really just hold on to my Aerodrome bag and plan on selling at that cycle top. Of course, not exactly on it, but before it. So really just making sure things are going well within the whole market as a whole, which things short term aren't doing great, but long term the outlook still looks very, very positive, and that's all that matters. So really hope you guys took something from this video. Leave down your comments below what you predict Aerodrome Finance to hit, because I understand that people have varying opinions on this. That is just my opinion. And with all that being said, I will see you guys later.